Everybody, Coach Veronica here, and excited for another day talking about gifts and in our series of gifts. And for those of you who haven't seen the previous days, I am coming live to you every day to share about a gift, not the one that comes in a box, but a gift that you have access to in your everyday life to help you thrive in any and all circumstances that you may be in life. And because I truly believe that no matter what your circumstance is, you have the ability to thrive. And so, just would love to ask you, oh, hello, RJ, good to see you. Tag your friends, share this post, let others know that I am doing this, that I'm going live to share about how you can thrive and what gifts you have access to in your everyday life. Please tag your friends in the comments, share this post, and we'll get started. So today's post that comment. Thanks for commenting, RJ. Let me know if you're here. Let me know that you're watching. Let me know where you're coming from. I love that we have people from all over the world that watch, and we can share in this together and help each other to thrive. So let me know that you're watching in the comments, whether you're watching here in the live or in the replay after. Let me know that you're here. Today's gift that I want to talk to you for a few minutes about is the gift of our thoughts. Now, thoughts are tricky. Our thoughts are a gift. They can also be a huge detriment to us. And the beauty of this is that we have the ability, what I want to talk about today is the gift of thoughts in that we can actually drive them towards our thriving. So how do we do that? Mindset has to change before our behaviors do. We're in January 3rd. I don't even remember the exact statistic, so if you know it, please put it in the chat. But there is a statistic about what percentage of New Year's resolutions fail and when they fail. I think it's like less than 3 weeks in. It's like the second week in January. A huge percentage of people quit their New Year's resolutions, and and I uh, I want to talk a little bit about that, because there is something we can do about that. But our we can't just decide. For years and years, I made the New Year's resolution that I was just going to stop eating sugar, or that I was going to stop eating candy or chocolate. And I failed like 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in maybe. And so, but it was just because I made that decision because I knew it was like the right thing, or it was the thing I was supposed to do, or whatever. But I hadn't actually changed my mindset of why it was that I was eating the candy bar. I was reaching for the chocolate, or what was the intention in it? And so in quitting it, I didn't have my mindset set of why. What was the purpose of this other than you're supposed to set a New Year's resolution? And so I think that is a huge reason why these things fail. And that also applies to our thoughts. You may have heard the phrase, the Bible talks about too, that we need to take our thoughts captive. And you may have heard of different mindset coaches, big names, that will talk about this like idea of stacking our thoughts, right? And we have to be intentional about the thoughts that we stack, right? It's super easy when you're in a negative space, when something goes wrong, when life, you know, stuff hits the fan. It's really, really easy to get in a place where immediately our thought is negative, and then we pile on because then we feel bad about the fact that we feel bad about something, or that we thought negatively about something, and then we're hard on ourselves for that, and then we wonder, why do we keep doing this? Why do we keep going to this place of negativity? And it spirals and it spirals. And so what we need to do is focus on recognizing, where are my triggers? What are my triggers? What are the things that cause me to have these negative thoughts, right? What are those things? And then as those things happen, because there are circumstances in life we can't change. There are things that doesn't matter. You can't make it go away. You can't make these things stop. Some things you can, but I want to talk about the things that you can't, right? There are going to be triggers in your life that just happen and that are unavoidable. But if we can start to see and recognize that what those triggers are, and when they're happening, we can track the thought, see that we're having the thought immediately, and the next step is to actually have a list of positive. You may have heard affirmations, or I forget what Tony Robbins calls them, incantations, that you have, that I know, these are the truths I know about myself, right? This is my affirmation list. This is my declaration of who I am, about my ability, about my strengths. Have that. Create that list. Create that affirmation. Create that declaration list for yourself, so that once you have that, then you recognize, what are my triggers? When are these things happening? When are the negative thoughts coming? So that you can interrupt them. And then you can interrupt the pattern. And then you can interject them with your positive thoughts, with your positive affirmations, and the truth of who you are and your abilities. So, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I wanted to know, for you guys, what has been something that you've been believing about yourself? What's been a thought you've had that you've held? Maybe it was in the past. Maybe it's still a thought that you have that has held you back from being all that you can be, from thriving, living the thriving life that you want to be living. Let me know, what are those things? What are those lies that you've heard? Yes, Janet, our thoughts are so powerful. This is why I get really, really passionate about this topic, because it can totally change. I lived in a dark hole of depression for 10 years because I was believing lies. I was holding on to thoughts about who I was that just weren't true. About my abilities, about my worth, my value, my future. And if we can reframe that, and we can look at, actually know, what is the truth that I know, but I've got to believe it. And that's where we have to make the shift, that we have to actually get it to believe it. Because it's one thing for me to say, yeah, my New Year's resolution is I'm not going to eat chocolate. But if I don't believe that I'm going to not eat chocolate, or I don't believe that I need to stop eating chocolate, I'm going to keep eating chocolate. And the same goes for our thoughts. So I'd love to know, yeah, what are those things that you've been holding on to, or you have held, those lies, those thoughts that have been a detriment to your thriving? Put those in the chat. I would love to hear them. And I would also love to hear from you. Where's the shift that you are going to make in 2021? We're starting the year off strong. What is something that you're going to put, whether you go ahead and you make a full declaration of your identity, whether you make an affirmation list, I highly recommend you do that. But if you don't, what is one thing that you're going to say to yourself to interrupt when those negative thoughts come? What is one truth about who you are that you are going to use as your ammo to disrupt the negative thoughts when they come? Because they do. I'm not going to deny that they come, and you can't necessarily stop them when they first come, but you can stop them from stacking and elevating and becoming bigger and becoming your focus. Because that is what will happen. your thoughts become your focus. And so if your thoughts are negative, your focus will become negative. You will then focus on your fears, and which I talked about yesterday, instead of your future. And that is not what I want for you. That is not what I want for me and for my thrivers. So let me know, where have you been held back? What have been the thoughts that you've had that have been your cripple? What are those triggers that have crippled you from moving forward and living the thriving life that you want? And what is the truth? What is the new thought that you're going to replace that old thought with? That's all I got for you guys tonight. And thanks for joining. Again, if you're watching the replay, please say hi in the comments. I read all your comments. I respond to your comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. I want them. I want to hear your thoughts. And we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Or day or morning, wherever you're watching.